clean then sword. The wise man knows he knows no more. Oh, let the silence start the war. I wandered through the colonnade where men with golden tongues displayed their list of facts and claims to know what's right and just what God's bestow. But when I asked what is the good, they choked upon the words they should. The more they spoke, the more they failed. Their meanings frayed, their logic veiled. I know that I know nothing, that's more than you can say. Your house of thought is crumbling, each stone I pull away. Let logos be the lantern, let reason be the flame. The path of doubt is sacred, let truth erase the name. I never taught, I never claimed to hold the answers, stake my fame. My gift was in the asking why, in watching pretense bleed and die. You say the soul is just and fair, define it then let's take it there. But soon your mind begins to twist when faced with questions you've dismissed. Phalanges cut through lies, no refuge in sophistic eyes. Let logos lead, let ego yield. The truth stands naked in the field. So many fear the cracks revealed, they flee the light, their minds unsealed. But when you see the fault within, you found the place where truths begin. No man is wise who will not test the thoughts that nest within his breast. The oracle at Delphi spoke, I am the wisest, for I broke. I know that I know nothing, that is a sacred star. The questions burn like kindling, they purify the heart. Let certainty be silent, let paradox remain. The soul begins its rising when knowledge bursts its pain. I know things, and yet I know that I know. I know. I know that I know nothing, but that's the wisest way. The hollow jar makes clearest sound, the full just fade away. You say you've caught the logos, but you only hold its name. The word is not the meaning, the spark is not the flame. What is courage? Tell me now. Is it rushing in or standing down? Is it to fight or to resist? You speak, but do the meanings twist? One says courage lives in war, another keeping open door. Each answer contradicts the last, so what remains of wisdom's path? The dialectic is the dance of tearing thought from circumstance. Not misled and wanting more to know the good is to enact, and ignorance alone distracts. If justice lives in every man, then tell me what's the sovereign plan? Is it to pay what each is due, or does that crack on deeper view? You answer quick, but truths are slow, their faces only dawn through woe. Each time you state I will contend, for every truth meets logos end. So tell me, what is piety? If you fear the gods or love them, if all virtue is one or many, if no soul does wrong with knowledge. If virtue can be taught, then teach it. If not, then how can we each reach it? If knowing leads to right, not wrong, then wrong must come from knowing God. No one sins with eyes full wide, but through the fog the good can hide. So clear the mist, dispel the lies, let reason lift the inward eyes. I know that I know nothing, and that is not the end. It is the path that bends and breaks, then circles back again. The method is the message, the question is the gate. To know your mind is mortal is to seek and contemplate. What is the good? We do not know. What is the just? We test and grow. Who is the wise? The one who sees. The name of truth is Aporia. I do not lead, I do not chase. A voice within commands my pace. No thunder rolls, no sibyl cries, yet something speaks beneath the sky. Before the war, before the speech, before my lips could even teach, a whisper stirred, not made of air. It bade me not, it warned me there. No mortal ear has heard its tone, no god has claimed it as their own. But when I moved against the grain, it flared within my chest like flame. The daemonian guides knows beneath what chords can draw. The daemon's silence speaks with weight. When it withholds, I choose my fate. And in that quiet lies a creed. No man can teach what he won't heed. The demonian guards, it stays my hand. A quiet force no law can brand. It speaks in space and stillness time. It forms my piety, my climb. Not ritual nor outward form, but inner fire that stays the storm. The God within me never speaks, but when I err it softly breaks. That breaking is the greatest sign of soul aligned with fate divine. Ooh, the demonian divine. You seek gold, you build with stone, but leave the soul a shattered home. There is no wealth but what you are. There is no path but that which scars. You polish speech, you practice face. You learn to win but not to grace. You teach your sons the state's affairs, but not the shape the soul must wear. You build the walls, defend the gate, but do not know your inner state. You know the names of gods and laws, but never ask the self's first cause. Care for the soul, first, last, and whole. All deeds arise from what you know, not born in blood nor shaped by fate, but trained through choice and love and hate. The soul must be examined deep, for unawareness is asleep. If you should ask what life is good, it is the one that understood. Not power, not acclaim or lands, but knowing right with steady hands. To know the just is to be just, for ignorance betrays our trust. No soul does wrong by full design, but only errs through lack of sign. The craftsman knows the tool he wields, the archer knows the arc he yields, and yet you wield your soul in vain, and cannot name its joy or pain. Can you define what virtue means, what goodness is, what lies between? What makes a man? It is not birth, but knowledge of his inner worth. The radius, not sword nor prize, but wisdom worn behind the eyes. If you can name the good, then live it. If not, the soul will slowly pivot toward pleasures, gains, and fleeting praise, and lose itself in empty days. Care for the soul, your only wealth. To know the truth is truest health. Let logos guide the inward sight, and you shall act in what is right. The soul that sees cannot betray, for vice is night and knowledge day. They fear injustice less than death, but death, my friend, is just a breath. The soul that steals or lies or hates is worse than one whom Hades waits. For better to be wrong than wrong, to keep the soul serene and strong. Let others fear the tyrant's chain, I fear a conscience steeped in stain. Examine all, examine well. The soul's a spring or it's a shell. The logos knows when it is bent, but only if the gaze is sent. Care for the soul, it does not die but grows or Not for a man, not for a god, the soul must see, or it is lost. One man with nothing, one man with truth, one man with no shield, but the soul of his youth. I walk alone in marble streets among the slaves and judges' seats. They call me fool, corrupt or pest, but truth not favor drives my quest. Like gadflies sting the lazy mare, I sting the city unaware. You say you love the state's great name, yet sleep while tyrants bend the frame. I am the gadfly buzzing, still sent not by men but by a will. If Athens kills what makes her wake, she'll sleep until her pillars break. No army strong, no law so great as one who speaks despite the state. I could have fled, I could have wept, I could have lied, my honor kept, but I would rather drink the cup than see the logo shriveled up. You fear my questions, not my blade, for words not war are how I raid. I challenge you to know the right, and in that ask you take me slight. Let them accuse, let them indict, for I have only dared invite that you examine what you are before your virtue drifts too far. You fear that I corrupt the young, but who has taught your lying tongue? Do they not cheat and fight and steal while chasing gold with no ideal? The soul cannot be shaped by chains, nor mended fast with temple gains. It learns by reason, slow and bright, by caring for the inward light. I am the gadfly, yes I sting, but I would rather die than cling to life that cost me what I am. A voice of flame, a mortal man, the soul that bends to live in shame will lose itself and not its name. They offer exile, silence, peace, if I would let my questions cease. But better death if I must choose than silence where all meanings lose. For death may be a dreamless sleep, or else the realm where good souls keep. And either fate is far less grim than living false in soul and limb. You call me wicked, yet you flee from one who asks what ought to be. I ask you not for mercy's wine, but just to seek a life divine. I am the gadfly, let me fall. You've struck me down to quiet all, but truth outlives the poison tongue, and logos wakes in mind still young. You'll hear me still in every doubt, in every cry that asks about my body fades. My soul takes wing, and still my question, still I sting. He said The sophist talks to sell a phrase, to dazzle days and draw in praise. But I just raise a little doubt and watch your whole world bleed right out. You call me rude, you call me sly, but still can't answer when I try to ask what makes the just man just, and not just cruel in others' trust. What is virtue? Define it. What is love? Refine it. What is law? Confess it. What is soul? Address it. What is knowledge? Strip it bare. What remains? Empty air. You think me weak or small or quaint, but you mistake restraint for feint. I do not claim to know your truth, but neither did you test your proof. The mask I wear of humble guise reflects the world behind your eyes. I act the fool so you will see that wisdom's womb is irony. Oh no, I'm just a man like you. I only ask what might be true. I do not teach, I only talk, but somehow you forget to walk. I claim I know not what you know, but here you sit with nothing to show. He knows not, and yet he knows. The wisest man is he who knows. He knows, he knows, he knows, he knows nothing. He did not know, he thought he knew. If he had seen, he would be true. The soul can't aim for what's unseen. Its error lies in what has been. You curse the thief, you damn the liar. You call them beast, you name them fire. But tell me, did they know the way, or did the good just fade away? You think that evil's born in blood, that heart's delight in vice and mud. But I have watched the soul go blind, not wickedness, but loss of mind. No one does wrong while knowing right. They stumble through the fog, not fight. If knowledge burned within their chest, they'd walk the road, they'd pass the test. The one who knows cannot betray, for knowing clears the darker way. The tyrant rules with cruel command, but does he know what virtue stands? He thinks that power makes him wise, but knowledge isn't won through lies. You scorn the drunkard, mock the fool, but none would drown if they could rule the storm within. If they had seen the logos hidden in the mean. Courage, justice, temperance, grace, all are one when truth finds place. No fragments here, no scattered tree, but rooted trunk of unity. One virtue deep, not many things, just wisdom dressed in different ways. To know the good is to desire. The soul is drawn as flame to fire. The mind that sees cannot ignore. Its judgment lights the moral core. But lacking sight, we grope and guess. We fall, we falter, we transgress. It is not will that bends toward wrong, but ignorance that plays the song. No one does wrong while knowing clear. The soul mistakes, it acts from fear. The unjust man is not the knave, but one who cannot see the wave. Enlighten him and he'll refrain. The mind corrects the soul's domain. destroy, but teach, and thus the soul employ. The man who sins is not your foe, he's just a self you do not know. Guide him not with wrath or chain, but draw the veil and clear the rain. Knowledge is the key we seek, the soul is strong, but vision's weak. No one does wrong from chosen spite, they miss the mark for lack of sight. Bring them the form, the good, the flame, and they will never act the same. For knowledge heals the severed will, and turns the violent spirit still. If they had known, they would have done. No evil lives beneath the sun, but only hearts that did not see the shape of true reality. The soul is not the breath, the soul is not the flesh, but what remembers truth when memory has left. You say that death's a curse of fall, a silence cold that ends it all. But tell me, are you just your skin, or is there something deep within? The body fades, the voice grows still, but soul is not of mortal will. It sees, it seeks, it shapes the true, and death perhaps reveals that view. Death is no evil to the wise, just severing from earthly ties. If soul is real, it cannot rot, and if it's not, then fear it not. For dreamless sleep brings no regret, and waking truth a clearer net. The senses lie, the flesh decays, but logos lights the higher ways. The forms do not dissolve with bone, they wait where pure minds walk alone. So when you see me drink the cup, know that I do not give it up, but rise beyond this narrow hall to meet what waits beyond the wall. Where does the soul go, if it goes? Where knowledge flows, where beauty glows. What if it breaks? What if it ends? Then there is rest and no amends. What if there's pain and fire and wrath? Then live so well, you fear no path. Philosophy is death rehearsed, a drawing from the flesh, a curse. The senses dull, the soul's full scope, but reason lifts and offers hope. So I have lived prepared to die, to train the mind to seek the high. Now death is not my loss or shame, but stepping through what has no name. Death is no end, but just a door, the soul to